Friends, it is absolutely great to see everybody. I love being here, but first, let me just express my support for this coastal community here as you all recover from the recent tropical storms. That was rough. But there is nothing like North Carolina neighbors helping North Carolina neighbors. You know, as your senator, I want each of you to know that we are with you, and I am going to help you every way that I can. But I first know somebody, that there is another man who has always stood by us in good times and in tough times. You all know who I'm talking about. It's Donald J. Trump. So let me ask you, is North Carolina Trump country? Well, it is great to have President Trump back in the old North State. You know, it's interesting. Where was Kamala Harris a couple of days ago? Well, she was doing an event with Oprah. You know, she wants to hang out with celebrities, but Donald J. Trump wants to be right here in North Carolina. There is no place that any of us would rather be than right here in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. And you know why we're all here? Because we love our country and we want to save it. How about you all? And you know why North Carolina loves Donald J. Trump? Well, all these reasons that I'm hearing, but because our lives were a whole lot better off 4 years ago with Donald J. Trump. But after 4 years of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, life here in America, it's unsafe and it's unaffordable. Right now, at the southern border, drugs and terrorists are flooding into our homeland. Families are shattered. Lives snatched away by drugs and dangerous criminals who should have never been allowed in the United States. And when it comes to immigration, Joe Biden said this about Kamala Harris, and I quote, Joe Biden said this. He said, "When she speaks for me." Kamala Harris is somebody that supports defunding the police, bailing out criminals, and defunding ICE. But I've got news for Kamala Harris. North Carolina wants a president who will stand with the law-abiding citizens of this country, and that man is Donald J. Trump. President Trump backs the blue. He's going to lock up criminals, and he's going to build the wall, and he's going to defend our country. Where's our law enforcement? There they are. Where's our veterans? Give us a wave. Give us a wave. Our first responders, we love you all. Look, in order to restore safety to our streets, we need to re-elect Donald J. Trump in November. But these last 4 years, we've not only lost our security, we have lost the American dream. Now, if you're a working family, or if you're a senior on fixed income, or if you're a young family, I see some out there, you're trying to buy your first house. Life under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, it's unaffordable. Every North Carolina family is spending $1,100 more each month because Kamala Harris she spent and she cast the vote on a reckless bill to spend your tax dollars. And as a result, inflation went up, prices surged from the gas pump to the grocery store, making life more unaffordable for American families who are already struggling to pay their bills. And now what does she want to do, friends? Well, she wants to follow that up with dangerous liberal ideas like eliminating everyone's private health care and banning American energy production. Well, I've got a message for Kamala Harris. That sort of crazy might work in San Francisco, but it's not going to work here in North Carolina. Under President Trump, paychecks were up, inflation was down, and the American dream was alive again. Friends, every 4 years, you hear it all the time. Politicians say, this is the most important election in our lifetime. Do you hear that? You ever heard that before? Well, it's always true, but this time it is the most important election in our country's lifetime. So if you believe what President Trump and I believe, then we need you to do a few things. The first is to pray. Pray for our country. Pray for Donald J. Trump. Pray for J.D. Vance. The next thing is to chip into this movement. If you can spare $5, $25, everything makes a huge difference. The next is to volunteer your time. Sign up at Trump-Force47.com. Volunteer to spend an afternoon knocking on doors, talking to neighbors, or working the polls. The last thing we need you to do is to vote. In the last election, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. 19% of Republicans didn't even vote. Can you believe that? That's not going to happen again. So make a plan to vote and take 10 friends with you. Kamala Harris is coming for North Carolina. She thinks she can win it, but you know what? We're not going to let that happen again because it didn't happen in 2016, it didn't happen in 2020, and it's not going to happen in 2024. We need to be in this fight together to stop Kamala Harris, to re-elect Donald J. Trump as President of the United States. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America.